Hello everyone and welcome back to Cities by Steven. You're talking to Steven. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. Get that bell notification on too so you don't miss out on an episode. Last time we were in the city, we built up a stadium area, the Fort Prairie Stampede grounds, kind of modeled after the Calgary Stampede, which is an awesome event that takes place in Calgary every year. And oh wow, what a great shot of the city that we have right here, and our promenades and plazas district as well. Yeah, so that was a really fun build. I love stadium builds. I just think that they're so unique and so fun, and there's so many things you can do with them. And you know, we got a football stadium in there of the North American variety, and it's huge out west, especially in Alberta. So I think it turned out pretty good. I really like it, and we're going to be building out in that same area today. We're going to be kicking off the start of a new town called Ortonville, which has been suggested for a long time. You know, it's kind of in a bit of a interesting spot. And so we're going to be kind of building a small town today, but in the coming episodes, we're going to envelop this small town in urban sprawl. So I'm going to focus on the characteristics that's going to make this unique small town have like a raison d'etre, you know, like it needs to have like a reason of being. And then we're going to just envelop it with the urban sprawl of Fort Prairie to kind of give like a cool, unique vibe that you often see with these giant urban sprawled cities. For me, locally, I come from Toronto, so I'm thinking of Unionville, for example, when I'm thinking of this town. A small town, a really old town that's just been enveloped by Markham. And yeah, so let's hop out and take a look at what we got plans for. So here's the stadium, the Fort Prairie Stampede grounds, and I think it turned out pretty nicely. Lots of parking. You know, there's the parking garages, there's the underground parking, there's even some above ground parking. We got a bus station in here for now. Security gate to the back. Got the track and field area, which is probably where the horses do their racing. We got the football stadium. Pretty accessible. We have a metro line running in through here, and we have one of the new metro stations we've kind of attached into here. We're only using one of the lines. Now, thematically, you know, we're saying it's probably not as deep as it is underground in the game than it would be in real life. And it would be probably a lot closer to the surface than it is. I think it's like 32 meters below ground, this station. So that's a lot. So yeah, there's, you know, there's a couple bars in here, and I think it'd be a cool time. And you know, it's pretty central to the city, not too far out, close to the highway, really accessible. There's this big off-ramp in here, which will be easy to turn into. There's even a second one as well. And I can definitely see us improving this area a lot. And it's starting to give some life to this blank space that we have between Greenberg and Prince Albert College. So Ortonville is going to be in this zone in here, particularly in this kind of square here. And if you're noticing something different, yeah, I was doing some prep for this episode, and I was just kind of playing around with some things, and I wanted to make sure what I had in mind was going to be okay. So if you recall in last episode, we extended the tunnel area from here, and we had this actually tunneled, this metro line tunneled underneath the rail tracks, and it stayed underground all the way to here, where it stays underground. But you know, that's a lot of underground metro, and that wasn't the point of the series. The point of the series was to kind of have a lot of above ground metro, and I think this is going to be a good outcome in the end. I want to get a metro station right in here where we have a bit of flat land, and that'll be an above ground metro, so that's awesome. And then we also have this other metro line running through here, which is underground, and it goes this way, and it connects with an underground metro here, and then it goes out into Fort Prairie. So we're actually going to be elevating this one as well. I wanted to do this one on camera because I figured after I did this one off camera, I really like the idea. It just makes sense. It goes with the theme better of what we were trying to do, trying to get a lot of these crazy network connections going. But when you're starting a town, especially not your first town, this is going to be our second town, or not our second town, like our fifth or sixth, you need to have a raison d'etre. Like, why does the town exist? Sure, you can just, you know, build a town, and we can have like the main intersection right here, and it'd be great because we'd have a lot of space. But you know, we have a theme going in this series. This is an Alberta themed city. What have we been doing in this series? Well, we originally started out over here in Prairie Station, where we had an old rail town with really tight grids kind of spawn up and become this massive suburb. Now, Prairie Station has more of like a suburban feel to it with a couple main streets and some high rises coming through here. And that's probably due to the fact that, you know, we have some pretty strong network connections with the highways coming through here. Yeah, you know, it's also a really good area. It's close to the water. But what if we did something like this, but smaller scale on this side? So what if Ortonville started out as a small rail town, because it's a good distance away, and then, you know, over time it's really gone away from that into a bit more of urban sprawl. So we have a really unique opportunity here with this road. Now this road goes underneath the highway, and this road is Hamilton Street. Hamilton Street is the main street in Greenberg. It goes all the way through, all the way around, and it even connects up right into here, where it has a direct route into the Orr area and Walsenburg, but also to the highway over there as well. So this is a pretty major street. It would have been a major street back in the day. So here's my thinking. We get a old rail town kind of in the start of this area over here, and then we have a more modern street coming down into here. Maybe you can connect up right there even. And that'll be kind of like a good T kind of structure. We'll have a more modern metro station over here, and that'll have some nice supporting networks. And I think we'll have a good premise. We'll have some good connections. And I think that's a good place to start. And then in the next episodes, we'll kind of envelop it in urban sprawl as maybe we try and connect it up to this road over here, maybe across over on this side. So let's start off with the Hamilton Street connection. I think this is the best point of starting, you know, starting with the oldest part of the town. So this is going to be this zone. So this is going to be a main street. So this is just a placeholder road. We were doing some tests way back in the day when the Promenades and Plazas DLC came out. And these are just temporary placeholders as well. So I think if this is going to be a major street, we should really upgrade it to be that. And we're going to use this one. Okay, so yeah, pretty good. Let's just check the topography really quickly and see what's up. So we're kind of building on a bit of a hill here. It looks like we're pretty flat along this side. So I think if we can maintain the height that this is, just for this area here, I think we'll be fine. So let's say Control H to that height. There we go, Hamilton Boulevard. And we got plenty of clearance still. So while I was planning this, I was looking at this highway here, and I was thinking, this is the only opportunity to get an interchange connection on this highway. That would make sense. But it doesn't make perfect sense. There's pretty good connections already in between here with this interchange already. There is a service interchange built into this system interchange. So it's not the worst thing in the world. And if we have a road here, this road connects pretty much directly to Hamilton Street. So it's not the worst highway connection in the world. Getting off the highway from this side, getting on the highway from downtown, you know, it's probably best just to take the roads of the city. Coming from this way, though, is a little messy. There's not a lot of options you have. So if you're coming from this side of town and you want to get over into here fast, you'd probably need to get off at Brownsville, come down into Hamilton. So it's not the most efficient, but there is one connection point that we can improve on one side of, and that is to just get a really simple slip lane from here into here. I don't even think we need to do much else at all. Just enough to get it to look nice. And maybe if we want, we can do a 2-lane kind of thing right here, where cars can then choose which one they're going to. So let's just clean this up really quickly. Okay, fantastic. So I do notice that there's a potential for cars to bypass this intersection using this one. So what I'm thinking about doing is maybe even banning trucks from this side. So this is a bit more of a pedestrian interchange, and all the trucks have to divert here because this is the interchange that goes to this cargo station. So that could be a cool option that we have to kind of help out the traffic. So let's do that really quickly. Very fast. There we go. So now trucks won't use this. They'll have to use this one, and we might as well upgrade this then altogether. And, you know, probably a good thing to do would be to get this to become a 3-lane road. So now they have all directions they need to go. And on this side, though, I'm not sure what we're going to be doing. We might be able to sneak a road this underneath here, but whatever is happening in this side of town, I have no plans for yet. So we're just going to leave it as an industrial road for now. But this one we're going to upgrade into a bit of a, you know, more proper road. And I think maybe we can make it nice. It's right beside a rapid bus station. So why don't we upgrade it to like a one with a tree or something like that? And why is this important? Why are we doing this? Well, we're doing this because this is going to help the connections into downtown over here. It's just kind of an all-encompassing aspect. And why don't we just use this road? Whoops. Okay, very good. So we'll say this is a newer upgraded road, and when I say a newer upgraded road, it should have a younger tree because it's been recently done. There we go. Oh, there's a bit of an issue here, so we'll just go to the node controller really quickly, and we'll just say this is a middle node, and it should fix that issue. And then we get over onto here, and we have a 2-lane system where we'll have a right-hand turn and a left-hand turn because straight on is the bus route. I wonder how many cars are accidentally going to go in there. I'm sure that would be quite frustration for bus drivers where, you know, there's a car stuck in this area because the driver missed the fact that this was a bus-only road, and then all of a sudden they're inside of the transit way, and that would be very awkward, wouldn't it? Okay, so we got a new connection in here. Maybe this can become a park or something in here. That would be nice. And now we have this area in here. So, you know, we're saying this is a rail town. Awesome. Where would the train station be? Well, it would be right beside the train tracks. So we're gonna get that train station in. No problem at all. Where is it gonna go? I think it should probably go over on this side. Awesome. Okay, so we got this station in, we got a road in against it, and this is a really nice train station. I like the idea of using a tree-lined road as well. We'll change the trees soon. And I put it in a spot where I think it would be acceptable to have. I'm sure they've redone this track 100 times, especially with the addition of the second train track in here. Now, I am planning on doing a revision of the trains where we're going to bring another line this way. So we'll see how that works out. But let's just theorize the idea of getting a cargo station in here for a second, because, you know, while I was talking about that, I was kind of realizing I don't think it's going to, you know, jive with my plans. So getting a cargo station in here would be really cool. But I haven't told you my full plans for this train station yet. So we have this historical train station. It's a central point in the city. But, you know, regional rail at this point, at this kind of old rundown town that's been enveloped by urban sprawl, it would probably be more of use if it was a converted metro line. So we already do have some pretty good cargo stations in here, and like I said, we do have the option of getting this cargo station on the other side should we need it. And we do have fairly good connections over, so I think we'll probably be fine, especially if I'm getting a cargo station or even 2 along this track down the line. So let's just forego that earlier plan. And this is, you know, the fun of building. Sometimes you have plans that you just realize in the end aren't the best idea. So how are we going to do this? This is where the train station would be, but our metro line is currently over here. So what I'm thinking is, what if we just move this metro line into here, where we will go either below ground very slightly and then come back in, or and then pretty much what it'll do is it will emerge from this hill underground, and we're going to have a bit of a redo of this station eventually anyways, so I don't mind kind of changing up how the metro slides into here, especially since this is a repurposed area. So let's start off with this connection, because I don't really know how I'm going to redo this station yet, and I think it's probably best just to get this one in first. So let's just kind of go like this, and we'll do a bit of a speed through here. So we are going up under the road here. It doesn't really make sense necessarily. So honestly, I almost wanted to skip this metro station altogether, and we'll just say that we'll have to put it on this side. It's probably even a bit better for the situation as a whole, but it's tough because, you know, this is where the bus station is. We could even move it over here if we need to eventually. I mean, we have a bus line right here, but it's just not the greatest location. So, you know, I think we're okay if we do a couple things here. So first of all, let's actually fix this little glitching right here. Okay, and then what we need to do is we need to get this to rise up better. So if we lower this to a better situation, to about right there, that's pretty good. I think we need to go a bit lower. That's pretty good. I think that would be an acceptable height for this road here. We could even raise up the road a little bit. Then if we go back into here, we go into this, we go sloping from here, hold shift into here. 1.1% is actually incredible. That's surprising, but, you know, it makes sense. We are at a pretty good height here. We cut into this hill pretty good, but now we need to get from here up into the station. So let's do that, and we'll see what the slope is, and if we need to do something. I got a little plan in my pocket. So here we go, from here to here. 2.8%, and I think that's acceptable for a light rail car. So we'll have to keep that in mind when we are doing our car selection for the station. Now, I don't think it would be going very fast. That's another thing. It's pretty slow. And oh, you know what? I forgot to mention. So we had this train station, but I got this mod that allows me to just change the station. So if we go into train stations here, you can see I just selected this one and I place it down. It's the rail, but I had previously selected that this was the, well, that's not even the right one, to be honest. But if we go into here, you see how we have this icon right here. I can just select metro tracks, and then I place it down, and it has the metro tracks. So it's pretty awesome. I think it's called the Metro Replacer or something like that. I'll just check it out really quickly. Oh gosh, I can't see it right now. But you know, there's another thing I wanted to mention is I have updated my mods list, and these are the mods that I'm using. So you can find it in the description, and it's on Steam. You can see what mods I use, mods and assets. Okay, well, I can't find exactly what the mod is called. So maybe it's one of those mods that is behind the scenes. So Anyways, yeah, there we go. So we got that in place. It's actually not too bad. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. I'm glad that we're building into this hill here. That definitely helped out. And it goes right underground into this station here, where we'll redo this eventually, when we probably redo this whole section. And we'll probably redo this station as well, or at least what happens in here. And then it curves out into here, and then it goes to service Belmont and this bus station. And then it goes all the way over to here, as we saw. So, you know, lots of curves, lots of twisty turns, but I think in order to service a pretty densely populated area that like this is going to become, I think it's important that a city would do that. Let me know what you think. Should we have actually just bypassed this station altogether, delete it, and just connect it right up into here, which, you know, probably makes the most sense for trajectory reasons, but doesn't make the most sense for network reasons. Do you think the city would spend the money to make this giant tunnel curve to service Belmont here? Yeah, let me know what you think, because I'm totally cool with removing it. If you think maybe we should just try to improve the bus station enough, and you know, incorporate this station a bit more into the bus network. So let me know what you think. And then now we're on to the second part of this, which is this part of the line. So let's just delete it. Why not? Let's delete it to about here. This is where I want the connection. So how are we going to do this? Well, you see, we are kind of at a tough situation here. We're at the same grade as the rail. Now again, we are using metros, which are a bit easier to deal with grades. So if we were, it's a big if we were to get this above ground, elevated, what would the height need to be for us to achieve that? So let's just try and stay in line with this. And let's just select a node. Let's bring this one over to about right here. I previously realigned this metro, or this rail line, so it's perfectly smooth all the way from here underneath here, which fits perfectly. So, and this grade is very, very clean and acceptable. So let's just lower this one down to the height that we need it at, which is about, it's about there, I would say. So now let's then select all the other nodes that we just created, set them to the same height as this. So that is the height we would need it at. I actually think we're a bit high. So theoretically, to get it from here to here, looks a little iffy, doesn't it? That's pretty steep. So 6%, that is totally not acceptable whatsoever, in my opinion, especially for this build. So what we can try to do is we can try to get it so that only one node has to be at that height. So that would entail us moving the rails, so this would have been planned ahead of time, so that they fit perfectly together underneath one node like this. So this would require a lot of foresight, which I didn't have. %. I'll say 3% is acceptable. So that means we also need to reslope all of this. So give me a second while we do that. Okay, so I think we're good. And we are just, you know, we have this really cool trench now underneath here, which is pretty cool. And then we have this rail over here that kind of bypassing it all. So I think there's some glitchiness happening, but I'll fix it all off camera. With the heights here, I think we just need to pretty much just move them over a little bit. So I will do that off camera because I don't want to spend more time in today's episode, but that is the solution. Okay, so there we go. Look at that. So we have this nice clean rail here, 3% grade up to this point, and then we need to connect it in. So this is the height we need it at. All right. And then now, hopefully the lines will shift everything over again. Hopefully, you know, they all caught on, but let's just give it a second and I'll fix them. Yeah, you know, that's a little bit of a bump there, but that's okay. Come into here, it's pretty smooth, all right. And we come down into the station. Pretty good. Oh, we just bypassed that, and then we go underneath the tunnel here, and we're underneath the city. And I guess in a way we can kind of see that this is pretty smooth after all. We run through a pillar, but that's okay. We got pretty close to the surface there. I'll need to fix that off camera. Okay, so after all that time, we only have built one metro station. But I think it's really important because what we've done is we've done two things. We've established the grid along the rail line here. This is the original station. It has a clean grid line against the rail. Now, if we plan this correctly, we should have a perfectly clean grid between Hamilton Avenue and this one. I'd be really surprised if we do because of all the move it kind of shifting, everything that we've done over time. But technically, they should be the exact same grid, and they're not. They're so close though. Ah, darn. Okay, that's fine. What I'm looking for mainly is the maintenance of the grid along this rail track. What we could, you know what? I take it back. I want the maintenance of Hamilton Avenue to be the true grid of this area because Hamilton Avenue's grid is going to transcend this area into here where we're going to have a pretty major thoroughway. So yeah, I think that works. So next steps, we're building a rail town. We said this was the raison d'etre of the town. I've always liked towns that have a road that runs right, like, you know, right down the heart, leading right towards the metro station or the train station. I've always liked those kind of things where, you know, you can see the town all the way along. And we're going to use this one because I think it's a pretty neat road. But although it kind of removes, with the trees, it kind of removes the factor of, you can see the train station. Although I just like the size of the road and the one lane. I guess we can upgrade it to a grass one. Yeah, grass. Let's go grass. Okay. There we go. No parking. I actually think we can have parking on here. And there we go. We have kind of cleared up the site of the train station. Now we can put on the proper trees as well. Okay, very good. So again, Railtown, tight grids. So this is where we're working off of. We're working off of this grid area. So let's get the first one right about here. Right there. Bring this one over. Should we bridge this across over to here? Does it serve any purpose? It does not, but it may serve a purpose in accessing this park or this land down the line. Maybe it's an older road. And we'll say that maybe before they entrench this area, there's access here. The highway also interrupted the this part of the town. I like the interrupted roads. I think they're pretty fun. And you know what? I think we might be able to actually cut across here. I know there's a pillar in the way, but let me fix this. Let's do this. Awesome. Okay, so you know what? I really enjoy that. I think that turned out really nicely. I think there's a few things we can do to help fix this up a little bit, like sloping this properly, for example, from here to here. Let's see if it still works. I think that's some tight clearance, but we might be able to we might have to ban trucks from there. But I don't know. I think we'll leave it. There's a light lamppost in the way though. Okay, so We got the main grid established. Let's continue that, and we'll kind of build up a little grid here, and we'll zone it. Again, so this rail line, now this is what I'm thinking. Should we have this be an interrupted road, or should it have been a planned grid? I guess it all depends on when they had this, when they built the town versus when they built this extension. I would assume that this kind of took over some people's land, and they probably built the rail over top or against previous infrastructure. So let's try and establish that as lore in this area. Now, some of the lore for Ortonville in the comments is that it's a rundown town, down on its luck. And I kind of like that, but I kind of want to see it as a town that has some charm, that, you know, at one point had a really cool aspect to it, a cool feel. And let's just see if we can get a bridge across. If we can't, then that's okay. Yeah, okay, so Ortonville, a rundown town, down on its luck. Part of the city, I guess, down on its luck. But, you know, I kind of like the idea of potentially showing some revitalization in this town that's been down on its luck recently. Okay, there we go. And then we just need an industry road. And we have some road guidelines here. Okay, very good. There we go, that's the same road, but an older road. And maybe we can have something in here eventually that this is the old rundown road. Now, how are we going to access this side? It's Hamilton Avenue. They've definitely redone Hamilton a bunch of times, especially in here. I think a tunnel is the best bet. Tunnels, I'm not always a big fan of doing the tunnels. They're really expensive to do. But if there's any place to do it, it would be right here, because we'll tunnel underneath the rails. And then, yeah, I mean, but this one we're above this one. So I guess we'll just go underneath here. We'll re-emerge and we'll connect up into that road. Holy cow. Holy cow. Lots of road infrastructure planning, eh? Well, let's go tunnel. Okay, so, you know, we start going down from right here, and we slowly go underneath, and we probably are pretty much at surface here. But that's okay. I think the angles are okay, and then we go underneath here, and we start re-emerging out of this area. Now, I've put these hills in here because it probably would have been a bit cheaper for them to make it if they were, you know, didn't have to be so rigid, and they had a lot of space to work with. So a lot of fill went in here, and yeah, I think we can do something with this. Maybe we can get like an overlook here as well. And this will also be the access point for this municipal service area, which let's mark as a park as the beginning of. At a very rough angle there. That's okay. I think we are good with all of this. Definitely going to have this better connected up, but let's make sure that Hamilton Avenue stuck. Hamilton Boulevard, nice, and it's King Charles Avenue all the way. King Charles Avenue, okay, there we go. So look at how this road has evolved from when we started it. Holy moly, it goes so far out. Fantastic. Okay, so we got this in place. There's one thing that's gonna bug me. Let's fix this really quickly. All right, you know what? We're gonna leave it. So here's the start of this rail town. Let's get this grid in, let's get the zoning in, and then we'll talk about how we're going to take this main road down into here. Okay, so there we go. We got the first basic grid in through here, and let's zone it up. So I think we're going to keep it rather simple for here. Let's, oh, you know what? We don't have a district in here, so let's get a district in. Okay, so we got Ortonville over here. What's going to be the style of Ortonville? Well, I think we're going to keep it similar to how we have Fort Prairie Prairie Station, sorry, planned out. So that's European suburbia with the buildings. And what else we're going to add in here? Gotta get some recycling, you know. I don't think I'm going to play with the schools out yet or anything like that. But let's go into here. You know what? I think we're good. Let's just go maybe policies for Ortonville. Let's just maybe go high-rise ban just in case. Now, I just realized since European suburbia is the theme of this, we're not going to get anything. So if I need to put on vanilla here, and that's okay. I think the theme will still come across as we're looking for it. And then commercial, we'll also get some commercial right through here. Oh, you know what? I need a couple building types in here as well. So let's go building types. Let's go with the farming industry in here. And yeah, that's gonna be good. So I think with the farming industry, let's get that right here because there's a couple buildings that I want to get in for this zone. So let's just go into here, farming industry. Okay, so with this, the idea here is that this is an abandoned lot on the main street from back in the industrial days. And, you know, a tough spot right beside the tunnel, so it makes sense. But let's go with the theme of it being a poorer area, and we'll get some residential along the undesirable land that is this area here. I'm going to run some dirt paths behind this, and because the dirt paths I think are going to give a bit more of a fact that this was lazily urban planned, and people have decided to walk along the back sides of these. And then right in this area here where we have a bit of a gap, let's get an iron fence, just like that. There we go. And then I also want an iron fence along the back side. Maybe not. This is the main street after all. Let's get it along the backside of this. And this. Awesome. Okay, so let's get some more residential up in here. With a bit of commercial. There we go. And then we'll get some more commercial along here. And you'll notice that I'm keeping them pretty small. That is because I feel like the smaller buildings is probably best. Okay, and I think this is probably the only option we have to get the larger commercial buildings right in there. Why don't we just change up the styles a little bit with that, and then let's get a couple homes in some tough locations. But, you know, gentrifying location, pretty close to the metro, I would say this is a pretty good investment. Yeah, you know, I think this is looking pretty good. Maybe we could even get a bit more of that industrial look over here, actually. So what did we need? We needed a... Oh, no, we lost a building. That's okay. We needed basically twos. So I think maybe we can go to about here. Then if we go back to this and we go and grab the same buildings, that would be awesome. Oh, fantastic. So let's make them historical. Nice. And then let's see if we can get another one of those buildings. So it's a 2x2. See if we can get this back in here, because that'd be great. Awesome. But you know what? This building in particular looks just freaking fantastic on that corner. That's the exact style I was hoping for. Along with this one, this gentrifying kind of look. This one's the same thing. We got 2 pancake houses. So you know this town really likes their pancake houses. And there we go. Yeah, so that's pretty good. Pretty good start of some planning. I think we need a park in this zone, and I think it's going to be right in here. So I'm going to remove the housing from this area here, and we'll just get a really basic placed park, and we'll use some upgrade tools or some other things to kind of upgrade the area. So, you know, I think the playground, unfortunately, is going to be the only one that'll fit properly in here. So we'll have to use that. I mean, the dog park does too, but we've used the dog park a lot lately, haven't we? Plazas, no, not the type of area. Yeah, you know what? I think we're just going to have to roll with the playground, and we'll just extend it. So we'll grab the playground. Have a playground right beside the metro tracks. Very safe. Great urban planning by the people of Ortonville. So we're going to run a fence along this kind of fault line here almost. And we'll run it pretty much right to here. Well, you know what? I guess we can run it into the metro line, pretty much like that. There we go. And then let's add in a few things to make this a bit more of a park. So like a dirt path, for example. Go freeform right along the back side of this, right into here, like so. And then we'll have just a couple big trees in the way as well. I think that would go a long way. Awesome, okay. So there we go. We have the start of what is going to be a pretty cool looking town. Good thematic town. Pretty close to the highway here, so let's just remove a couple of these guys. Awesome, okay. So I think we need a fence as well. From here, right along. Bring it to about there. Very good, very good. And yeah, you know, I think Ortonville turned out pretty nicely. Like the old train station town of it. This has been probably destroyed a bunch of times and rebuilt. So let's talk about how we're going to plan out this town in the coming episodes, because this isn't going to be the only episode in Ortonville. Here's the plan. So here's the main street. Let's call this... but where it intersects with Hamilton Avenue, I think we're going to run it down a little bit more as a street, but then we're going to hit this road here. So let's drag this road out. This is a road that runs right into Belmont and then kind of just ends, but its main purpose really is it connects up with Brown Avenue, and Brown Avenue is very important. So let's just bring this road out farther. So yeah, Brown Avenue is important because Brown Avenue, as you can see, goes right to Brownsville, but it also goes right down into the downtown or right to the university. Pretty major street to connect to. Really important that we connect to it properly. So it's going to be a major street. Let's use a major road. Let's say it's this one. We need to go over one more. There we go. And we right now have it at a single or a 2-lane road connection. I wonder if we can upgrade this without destroying much. Awesome. Okay, so let's grab this and let's just connect it up. I think maybe what I want to do is actually delete this one road. Yeah, nice. I can. And then we'll have the iffy... Oh, whoops. We'll have the iffy grid marks appear underneath the highway here. So there we go. We eliminated any iffy grids. It's now a very clean, straight, planned grid. Now, I am going to delete this because we are going to change up the whole factor of what this town is going to become in a future episode from that point on. So I'll bring this guy out to here where, unfortunately, I think we're going to dead end this one. We're probably going to dead end it. I can only see, the only other option that we have is a tunnel, especially at this point. If we could have bridged this one, which we probably could have if we started at this point, bridged over top of everything. I suppose that we could also tunnel under here is what I'm trying to get to. But I don't know. I don't think the city would spend that much money on this road. I even think we should downgrade this road from this point to a smaller road. Yeah, because they upgraded this one. They upgraded this one, and then they upgraded this one. That makes sense. Nice. Okay, so in order to give the feel that this was a... oh, we're on a hill here. Holy cow. I kind of like that. That's pretty cool. Let's just check out the topography. Yeah, we are. Very, very nice. Let's just smooth some things out then. This is going to be important. So in order to give the feel that Hamilton Avenue has been widened a couple times, probably, I think what we're going to do is we're going to make a very small grid. So this one was 7 total units. So let's go down to 4 total units. And we're going to connect every other one. So this one we're going to connect. And then I guess we're not having a connection. So we could connect this one. I don't necessarily mind that, but I'd rather not have a light right there. So we'll do that. We'll definitely need to turn off the lights. So let's just do this really quickly. I'm just realizing now that there's so many lights. Okay, very good. So on these little connection points, let's make them this road. Like that. That's good. And yeah, I guess we don't need another one on this side. So we have that small tight grid, and that's important because it represents that this once was a proper grid, but has since shrunk a lot because they used up a lot of space for this. We can bring this road underneath the highway as well. Okay, and then this one we can continue along, down, and this one we will as well. Okay, so now we can go back to a proper grid. Now we had 7 before because they had knocked off 1 unit on this side from 8, and then they knocked off 2 units from this side. Or more? I don't know. I don't think the math exactly lines up, but let's go 8 units at this point. I think the theme, as long as the theme is, getting across, I think we're good. So it looks like there's a bit of an issue here with the grid, so let's just back that up. Okay, so Ortonville is coming along pretty good. We're not going to go much any further than this in today's episode because we'll change up the style over here. However, I think I will get the main connection in here. Maybe we get the metro line in, maybe we don't. This is going to be a new metro line. This is the new line, maybe. So I think this works out. So let's just grab any old road. Let's just go with a large road anyways, just for planning's sake. Okay, very good. So we have this big street coming through here. Wide, it's wide, it curves, and then we stop dead in our tracks here with this major intersection at the stadium. Now this is also pretty important because this is the main connection for the highway. So I'm actually kind of rethinking some plans here, seeing this road actually in, which is why I wanted it to get in here. So we're gonna have a metro station right in here, probably the bypass station, and then let's plan that out. Why not? Let's just get some zoning going, and then we'll leave it be. So I want commercial right in here. You know what? Never mind. Calling a mulligan. We're gonna save this because I think it's gonna be part of a larger build that I don't want to touch. I want to get, I guess I'll spoil it. I want to get some pedestrian and promenades DLC stuff in here. So I was thinking maybe with the newer part of Ortonville, we could have like a big promenade leading up into here. And I think that would make sense with a lot of condos. Some transit-oriented development would be really cool right down in here. And then in this zone here, I was hoping that we could also get a bit of promenades and plazas DLC, but I don't think it would work necessarily. If anything, I think we could try and change this road here, which is not efficient for traffic, but that's why I'm not fully contemplating it. But I think it would be really cool if we had a promenades and plazas situation going on right down the middle of this town. So cars had to divert around here, a bit of you know, pedestrianisms, you know, upgrading the area for pedestrians. I think that's really neat, a really cool concept to do, and it really shows a gentrifying town. So let's do that. Now, another option we had is to do that right in here. Almost bring the whole block up to the metro station as being a pedestrian zone. Now, I think that would be really, really cool, actually, kind of seeing it. So we'll go cobblestone pedestrian street. And then we have this one road here, which is fine like this, be the connection between the two. And then they just need, all cars need to do is bypass around and go around. So we're going to need to upgrade the supporting infrastructure in the future. But I think that means that this road needs to be a larger road. And then this one here, we could also upgrade to pedestrian road. Maybe. But yeah, I think this could turn out really nicely. We'll have this become like a major pedestrian zone right down to Ortonville, and then we'll have it turn into here. This whole road is not going to be pedestrian zone, but I want it to be one zone so we can get one service point. So this is just going to be the Ortonville pedestrian zone, pretty simple. And I wanted to showcase this because we actually unlocked a bunch of stuff recently with the Promenades and Plazas DLC stuff. So where is that again? It's in parks. Yeah, so we have a garbage service point, we have a cargo service point, we have a large pedestrian area service point. So we just don't have the large of both of these. So my understanding is that this is both garbage and cargo, whereas if you want to separate them, you can. I think we only need one in here. So we'll find a bit of an industrial point, which is over here. I think this works out great. Maybe even right in this zone. Actually, I think this is a pretty cool spot for it. Very fun indeed. So now, the reason why I wanted to keep this all cobblestone is so we can see the train station. So now we have some pretty cool features throughout this whole area here. We have the main streets right through here. I think maybe we can change the pedestrian road. All right, very good. So I think now that we've actually done this, I don't think houses are the right bet here. However, I do think if there's going to be any spot in this part of the town that has gentrification, it's gonna be right around here. So let's go into here. We'll grab our gentrifying condos. And let's go right into here. And we'll say we can get a couple condos right in here. Okay, so we're gonna let these ones come in. We'll kind of take a look at the town. Maybe some condo developers saw this area and they were salivating because, you know, they're converting this old train station into a metro. We need to build condos here. It, you know, honestly just makes too much sense for a developer to do this. I was hoping that these ones would look cool together, and they kind of do, so that's good. These ones, how do they look? Same building, same developer. This one's smaller, and I think they open up at the same angle. These two, yeah, they do. Nice. So I think that means we can also change up how this works. So let's just delete these buildings. And I think maybe we can get an office right in here with maybe a bit of high density commercial. And then same with this zone here. We'll do the same pattern. We'll see what we can get. And I guess we need to change these ones up as well. And let's see how high density commercial works in this zone. Otherwise, I think we're probably good with what we got going on. Oh, water, of course. Awesome. Okay, I think we're gonna need to change this up as well, but I think that's it for today, folks. I think we've done everything we can for this one episode. We got a lot done. We changed up this whole metro alignment, and now I am totally okay to realign this again. So let's just reiterate what the plan is. Should we just forego this station altogether and just connect this up like so, and we'll just reconfigure everything like this. And then I have one thing I wanted to end today's episode on, but I want to make sure that this is going to look okay. No, these buildings are looking a little too old, so I'll just play around with these ones off camera, and we'll come back to it next episode, and we'll take a look at how it looks. But there's one thing I wanted to do, and that is pretty much to name some counties. Now, this has been in discussion for a long time about the fact that there's 2 counties in this area, or in this region. So the river is going to split the 2 counties. But where are the county lines? So we're going to have 2 counties. We're going to have Orton County, which is this peninsula area, and then we're going to have Barber County, which is over in here. So pretty much what I'm going to say is that Walsenburg is in Barber County, but Ortonville is in Orton County. I'm sure that the voting districts are a little different. I'm sure that provincially, maybe Fort Prairie proper is its own electoral grid, and then maybe Greenberg Prairie Station is its own electoral grid, and then it's kind of split right up the highway. It goes up to Dunn. Ortonville Dunn kind of is its own, and then maybe Walsenburg's probably its own election area, and then the rest of Barber County is its own. So just to separate them, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some parks, and then right in here. So we have Barber County, and then on this side we have Orton County. And I think as we get going along, I'll try to separate the political grids out a little bit more. But I think that is probably the main location of where the split is. And I think it also might play into this whole provincial highway build that we did a long time ago, and why there was probably delays in creating this connection. So there we go. I think this build is going to turn out nicely once we get everything kind of set and in order. Oh no! Awesome. Okay, so sorry about all those issues we were having there, but I think this is going to turn out nicely. I think we have the main infrastructure planned out. We have a raison d'etre. Why does the town exist? Well, it's an old rail town. I think that makes sense. And then we have a more modern connection in here. There's some gentrification happening. We have some pedestrian and promenades influence. And then in next episode, I think we're still good for next. Yeah, next episode is going to be Orton County again. Hopefully we can finish up all of Orton County. We'll get this next metro station in. We'll connect up some of the promenades and plazas DLC stuff over in here as well. And I hope you liked it. Bit long today. Sorry about that. But I think it turned out nicely. We have some nice infrastructure planning in place. Let me know what you think. Peace out.